Are you experiencing pain on top of your foot? And hold one sec, I think it's pretty dark. One more sec. How to find relief. In this video, we're going to look into the causes of foot pain, focusing on the top of the foot, and also show you how I treat the discomfort. Hi, welcome to Stress Out Stress Free. If you haven't met yet, my name is Vincent Woon, where I help people like you stay stress free by changing one habit at a time. Today, we're going to be talking about pain on the top of the foot. We're going to touch on extensor tendinitis. We're also going to touch on stress fracture and also injuries. All right. First of all, let's look at extended tendinitis. Let's look at what are the causes of pain in the top of the foot. Extended tendinitis is a condition. Extendinitis is a condition characterized as inflammation and irritation on top of and on. One second, let me just pull my leg out. Okay, got it. All right. Extended tendinitis is a condition characterized by inflammation and irritation on the tendons and on top of the foot. These tendons connect. Let me just pull the feet out. Okay. All right. These tendons. Let me pull the pointer out. Okay, good. So it's all the tendons that's atop here. Okay, on top here, right? On the legs of the bones and also tendinitis, the tendons that connects the muscle in the foot in the front of the foot, which is here, to the bones in the foot, allowing to dorsiflex. Dorsiflex is to lift the foot up and then and assist the toe for extension. When these tendons here become overused, subject to repetitive activities, this can become inflamed and a result of extensor tendinitis. For example, activities that contribute to tendinitis is okay. Example of activities that contribute to tendinitis is running long distance or running in an uneven surface or place that excessively stress the tendon and the top of the foot here. All right, and leading to inflammation and tendinitis also. Okay, also activities like jumping exercise involve jumping and explosive movements such as polyometric exercises, and certain sports like basketball, volleyball can strain the tendon and also contribute to tendinitis. Occupational factors such as jobs that require a lot of repetitive movement on the foot, such as involving constant standing and walking, may increase the risk of developing extensor tendinitis. When extensor tendinitis occurs, it often represents with pain and tenderness around and have swelling around the top area here, okay, of the foot. And these symptoms are commonly experienced during movement, particularly when you pushing your toes or lifting your foot upwards. The pain can be sharp, achy, or throbbing, and it can interface with daily activities and exercise. It is important to note that while extensor tendinitis is often caused by overuse or repetitive activities, other factors can also contribute to this, of course. This may include inadequate software, inadequate footwear, improper foot biomechanics, a sudden increase in the activities level and intensity and underlying food condition. All right. So, what do you do when? What do you do when? Turn the volume up a little bit. Okay. What do you do when you have extensor tendonitis? Of course, number one is always rest and ice it. Rest and ice it. You can. Oops, wrong one. Rest and ice it to from the activities that aggravate the condition and apply ice on the affected area, and it reduces the inflammation and help provide relief. Of course, you can also take pain relief medication, over-the-counter medication such as ibuprofen to alleviate the pain and also reduce swelling. Stretching and strengthening exercise helps to strengthen the area around your foot, ankle muscles, and also can improve flexibility, restraint, and on the tendon, and promote healing. So wearing supportive footwear is very important. Wearing shoes that properly support your arch and also have the cushioning to help alleviate pressure and tension to promote healing. Of course, physical therapy, in more severe cases, physical therapists can develop a tailored special treatment to the plan, and also manual therapy, ultrasound, taping techniques, and also progressive exercise program to address underlying causes and also aid in recovery. Let's take a look at stress fracture now. Stress fracture are small cracks that develop in the bones itself. Oops. Stress fracture. So, stress fracture it develops in the bones and is commonly caused by a repetitive overuse and stress on the muscles. And in the case of the foot, stress fracture often occurs in the metatarsal. Metatarsal are these bones here, the metatarsals. Okay, and they are always like hairline fracture instead of like big fracture. So, and these fractures can result in a localized pain, tenderness on the top of the foot. Activities that can cause stress fracture are running, long distance runner, especially those who suddenly increase their training intensity, or the mileage are susceptible to developing stress in the metatarsal bones, right? And placed on the foot during running and can gradually lead to small tiny cracks in the bone. Jumping activities, athletic that involves in sports that require frequent jumping, such as basketball, volleyball, are prone to stress fracture on top of the foot. The constant impact and leading forces on the foot can eventually lead to a development of these fractures. Dancers are also particularly those who engage in activities that involve repetitive movement like jumping, landing, or dancing on the ball of the feet, and at risk of developing stress fracture in the metatarsal bone. Military training. Military personnel, particularly those who engage in rigorous training programs that involve marching, running, and carrying heavy loads and experience stress fracture in the foot due to repetitive stress, and also that place stress on the bone itself. So, when a stress fracture occurs on the top of the foot, it is typically manifests as localized pain and tenderness. The pain may worsen with activities, particularly during weight-bearing movements like walking, running. Okay, resting and elevating your foot can provide temporary relief from the pain, while resuming activities can exacerbate the discomfort. And if it's left untreated, the stress fracture can progress and also become severe symptoms, including swelling, bruising, and also difficult bearing weight on the affected foot. It is important to note that stress fracture requires proper diagnosis and also management to improve the further complication. What are the treatments for stress fractures? You can do resting, resisting weight bearing activities that provide adequate rest and also rest to the foot and allow the bone to heal itself. This involves the use of crutches and also protective boots or casts that cast on your feet so that it can help you mobilize and promote healing. Of course, ice and pain management. Apply ice pack to the affected area, and taking over the counter pain medication can help. And as recommended by healthcare professional, and make sure to alleviate the pain and reduce inflammation. And of course, you're going to have to modify your activities gradually, returning to the activities after the fracture has healed under the guidance of a healthcare professional of physical therapists. You want to, of course, wear supportive footwear or orthotics, or how do you pronounce that? Orthotics. Yeah. Okay, you want to wear supportive footwear or orthotics. Wearing appropriate footwear that provides adequate cushioning and support, and considering the use of custom orthotics can help reduce the stress on your feet and foot and minimize the risk of reoccurring stress again. Of course, rehabilitation exercise. Once your fracture has healed, you can properly, through medical guidance, engage in rehab. Exercise can help improve your strength again, your flexibility, and also your balance in the foot, reducing the risk of future injuries. If you suspect stress fracture on the top of your foot, it is essential to consult a healthcare professional for proper diagnosis and treatment. They can perform the physical examination, order an imaging test like X-rays, and provide appropriate recommendation and facilitate the healing and prevent further complication. Remember, early intervention and proper management of stress fracture are key to recovery, right? Okay, last but not least, we're going to talk about trauma and injuries to the foot. Trauma or injuries to the foot. Trauma or injuries to the foot is common cause of pain on the top of the foot, right? This type of pain occurs as a result of direct impact and damage to the foot, leading to various symptoms such as bruising, swelling, and tenderness. For example, trauma or injuries that can cause pain on the top of the foot are stubbing your toes, accidentally hitting your toes on hard objects such as a piece of furniture or on a step, can cause immediate pain and tenderness on top of the foot. Depending on the severity and the impact, bruising and swelling may occur. Or dropping something heavy on your foot, right? If a heavy object falls on top of your foot, it can cause significant pain and potentially lead to bruising, swelling, or even fractures in severe cases. This type of injuries often require immediate attention. And another one is accidental falls or impact. Slipping, tripping, or falling can cause trauma on the foot to the foot, leading to pain on top of the foot. And for instance, if you lose your balance and land awkwardly on your foot, and it will result in immediate pain, swelling, and bruises. What about crush injuries? Crush injuries occurs when excessive pressure is applied on the foot, such as getting the foot caught in something heavy, object or machinery that injures. These injuries can cause severe pain, swelling, and even fracture and dislocation. Okay, sports-related injuries. Participating in sports activities that involve running, jumping, and direct contact can put your feet at risk of injuries. Example included landing improperly after a jump, colliding with another player, or experiencing a sudden twist movement while playing the sports like soccer, basketball, skateboarding, and skimboarding. So such incidents can result in foot trauma, causing pain, swelling, and potential damage to the tendons, ligaments, and on all the bones. All right. Sip of fresh distilled water. And let's move to what happened this weekend. This weekend, I was up in Maine, and we go to Maine every year, and my kids, they love skimboarding. And if you know skimboarding, let me just show you what skimboarding is. Skimboarding is basically you have a thin board, and let's see. All right. So see that board over there, that's the thin board. What? 1 second. Okay, let's replay again. Then you slide on top of the light surface of the water, and then you jump on it, and then you kind of like move your body around to surf the wave. Okay, this is another example. And so you slide the board, and sometimes you fall. Okay, so what happened was my son was playing. That was his friend because she's showing him. But then after that, he did it himself, and he fell and hurt his leg. At first, he was telling me the pain was underneath in the bottom of the feet. All right. Let's see, I can show you. Okay. At first, he was saying the pain was underneath here. Yes. Let me see if I can bring out my other point. First, he's saying that the pain was underneath around the arch here, around the arch. Actually, this part of the arch, the side of the arch. So what I did was, I started. See, let me just rewind that. Okay, he was saying that the pain is around on the inside of the arch, that area, and he has flat feet. So when he was jumping on the board, right, he probably put too much or have a sudden shock. 1 second here, let me. So when he was jumping on the board, he was putting too much pressure on his feet around here. Let me show right there. So you're putting too much pressure on there, and it's the other arrow. Oops. And what happened is he kind of injured or hurt the top part of the. Put that away. Wrong arrow. So he kind of injured the top part. Put pressure, like when he jump on the board, right? It's put pressure on the top part of the leg. So it's kind of like push down like such, and that creates pain on the top. So I started working on all right, let me just go to that. So he was working there, and then I started working on the bottom part of the arch to release the tightness, right? Working on it right there to release tightness. See what I do is I use the finger pad of the pad of my finger and move the bottom part. And now he said that also that's when I loosen the bottom part, and also I try to loosen the top part, because later on he told me that there's pain in the top area too. So let me just pause this and show you what it meant, what I was talking about. All right. First he was saying in the bottom, but then now he said on the top here, on the metatarsal here, on the bones here is painful too. So over here, the top part to the toe, the big toe, is painful when I move his big toe. He said it hurts. It hurts. Okay. So this is how you work on the. This is how you work on the bottom part. We use all the finger pads, all your finger pads, all four of them, put in the bottom, and then you move the top of the toe. So it's kind of like putting pressure and then digging into the toe, and you move the muscle, and the pressure will dig into the toes itself. Okay. Right there, you see? That's the area, and then put pressure on it, and then you just move the top of the toe, and then your fingers itself will dig inside. There's one point there that's very tight, so I was just digging it, and then he showed me that on top is painful too. So top over here is painful. So now I'm working. What I'm doing here is working on the working down from the top of the toes down to the muscles in here, in between the bones, the metatarsals. So to loosen up all the tight tension and digging into the muscle itself, so that you will loosen up the tightness in there. Okay. So let's move to the second one. Move to this one here. What I'm doing here is going down again, down the metatarsal, going down each toe, so that to break out all the tension in there. See how I just go down line by line, strip by strip. Let me show you in that. So what I did is I went top here, go down each toe, each muscle between the toes. So right, go down each muscles. See, and all you need to do is just put some pressure and then move the leg a little bit to create kind of like to dig into the muscle itself. See, hold the top. You should use the tip of your finger and grab on the other side, and then you can work underneath the arch too. So I was holding here and working underneath the arch. And what I'm doing here is I'm using my I'm using the area underneath the knuckles to just rub the sole of the feet to warm it up, and that way it also helps to take it easy on the fingers itself. Okay, because if you do one finger at a time, it's going to hurt. So if you do it with the all from the after the joint after the knuckle and just rub it, it's feels good, and it helps with the hand, helps ease the hand a little bit. Okay, let's go back to that video again. Okay, I went down, move down each muscle again. I mean, each metatarsal or down the leg, and then I use that to dig into the arch. Use the finger pad and put in the back on the arch, and then just twist, turn. See, we just turn left and right the top of the feet, and you start digging into the muscle. See, all right. Use the part there to rub up and down, up and down. On the side. And same thing, use for the top of the feet, use the joint underneath the knuckle. You can do that, and then this is to strip the muscle, go down in between the metatarsal, in between the bones. Okay, now there's a little painful in the bottom, so I'm just rubbing there. Actually, the top part, actually. So I find a tight spot there, so that's why I'm digging into that spot. And basically now, I'm just rubbing down. I'm just rubbing down with like this, putting my hand on the leg itself and rubbing down the leg. So that's to do the. Let me just show you. That's to warm up the whole foot. I'm gonna try to warm up the whole foot, right? And I kind of like rub it vigorously, like lightly, so that you create the heat onto the leg. And after all this is done, right, you can feel that the heat is slowly going into the muscle itself. And see, after the rubbing, rub vigorously, and then it goes in there and twist a little bit, and that will leave the leg all warmed up. And also when you rub vigorously like that, it's going to create circulation, and that's why after that vigorously rubbing, it's going to be all red, and you can feel the heat and the warmth and still there. And even after the fact that after everything is stopped, you can feel the heat in that area itself. So that means there's a lot of blood going through the area. When there's a lot of blood, it brings oxygen to the area. When there's oxygen, there's no pain. So that's how you alleviate pain. That's how you get rid of the pain. Yes. Okay. That's pretty much what we have here today. And let me just go through what we talk about today. Just give you a brief summary. And at first we talk about the pain on top of the leg, right? The foot, right? So at first it was it's an extensor tendonitis that could be caused by repetitive use of the muscle, like running, jumping, occupational factors. And also then we move to how you can take care of it. You can rest and ice it. You can take pain reliever, stretch and strengthening exercise. You want to wear, of course, always wear supportive footwear. Always make sure that you check your shoes that is supportive, and if the shoe is worn off, make sure you change it. Usually, the best one is to change every 6 months. Okay, and then if it doesn't help, you need to go to physical therapy and make sure if anything serious like this, if you pain consistent pain, make sure you go check with your healthcare provider. And then we talk about stress fractures. Stress fractures is caused by repetitive use of stress and repetitive stress or overuse. Okay, and that creates small cracks in the bones itself. And usually the pain area is also the top of the foot. These are normally people who have stress fractures are people who run long distance a lot because of the pressure and the training that they have. They have to pay intensity of the mileage, and also jumping activities, dancers, military training people. Okay, and then we talk about sports injuries, right? Oh no, then we talk about how to take care of the stress fractures. Resting, not to put too much weight on it, and then ice it, and you want to modify your activities, not to put too much pressure. Of course, wear supportive footwear so that you hold your leg properly, and also you need to go do rehab after the fracture, right? And then we talk about trauma and injuries to the foot, like damage, stubbing your toes into the wall or objects, or dropping something heavy on your foot. An accident, fall, or impact, like slipping, tripping, or fall that cause trauma to the foot, right? And crush injuries, of course. And then last but not least, we talk about sport-related injuries like contact sports, like jumping. Direct contact can put your feet into risk of injury, like improper jumping, colliding or with another player, or experiencing sudden twist or motion while playing sports, like soccer, basketball, skateboarding, and skimboarding. And I talk about last weekend, how my son, we went to Maine, and they skimboard all the time, but this time he was trying too hard, or haven't done it for so long that he hurt his foot. So I talk about where he hurt his foot and how he hurt his foot and how I work on it. So yes, and yeah, after all that, what I did was I put KT tape on it, and to hold the muscle so that you won't hold and support the muscle so that you won't re-injure itself again. And of course, if you you can also soak in Epsom salt and warm water to loosen up the muscles too. Okay, and of course I use Theta gel, which is the Chinese medicine ointment to rub rub up the tendons and stuff, to rub up the pain. And it's like what is it equivalent to? It's the Chinese ointment for bruises and pains and aches and pains. Yeah. And do I have that on here? Let me see. No, I don't have that on here, but I can. I'm going to put the link in the description below. Hold on, let me see. I can find it now. It's called Theta Chow, and Nope, I can't find it. I will put the. No, I will put the link in the description. I will put the link in the description below, and you can always check it out there. Okay. All right. So thank you very much for watching. And if you like this video or know someone that can benefit from this video, please share with them. And if you haven't subscribed yet, click on the subscribe button and click on the bell notification bell so that whenever we go live or we have any new videos up, you will be notified right away. Okay. All right. And if you want to support us, you can always go to buymeacoffee.com buymeacoffee.com/Vincent Moon, or you can go to our Present Soap stress out stress free. The link is in the description below, and you can support us through that way. All right. And don't forget to stay stress free by changing one habit at a time. And I see you in the next video. All right, don't forget to check out this video that's going to pop up here after the fact. And also, we are just streaming on Monday nights now. Friday nights will be off for probably till after summertime, after summer. Okay, I need to do some catch up and doing some stuff on the website. So I will let you know. And also, I'm working on starting a newsletter, and we're gonna be hopefully by next live, we're gonna be able to next video that pops out. We're gonna be you'll be able to sign up for a newsletter. Okay. Yes. For next week is July 4th week. So I'm traveling on Monday, so I might I probably will make a video. I make a premiere a video on Monday. So yeah, I will premiere a video on Monday and do the announcement there too. Okay. All right. So thank you very much for watching, and don't forget to stay stress-free, stay stressed out. Don't forget to stay stress-free by changing one habit at a time. And see you in the next video.